Today we are at Disney Springs and we are checking out the Disney food trucks. If you don't know, we do dining reviews every single Monday, so be sure to check those out. So the Disney Springs food trucks are actually located on the west side of Disney Springs in what they call Exposition Park. These food trucks are pretty much here all of the time, but they are only open certain times of day, so make sure you are checking hours before you come here to try the food trucks. But there are 3 distinct food trucks that is grab-and-go food, and they have the Four Rivers, Hot Diggity Dogs, and Mac and Cheese food trucks here. And we're gonna get a little bit of everything to try.
Something to take note of here with these food trucks is that Four Rivers has its own place to order, and then the other 2 food trucks here, which are Disney own maybe food trucks for the Hot Diggity Dog and the Mac and Cheese, has one location to order at. So you'll go to that one spot, place your order, they'll take your name, they're going to write it on a slip of paper, and they're going to take those over to the food truck, and then you'll move over to the side, and when your food's ready, you just walk over and pick it up. But the reason that I want to mention that, though, is because just remember that there are 2 different locations here to actually place your order. So if you want something for Four Rivers, you have to go to Four Rivers Food Truck to do that. Now, Taylor did already mention about checking the times guides. That is something very important to note because we were planning to get here today at 11 o'clock because that's normally when a lot of the food places are going to be opening, but they actually didn't open up till noon, and it's Sunday, so you would think maybe on a weekend they might even open up a little bit earlier, but they don't. So I'm really excited about this. This is a really great area. They've got plenty of seating over here, and of course, most of this food you can kind of just take and walk to another location if you need to and sit down and eat. So I'm pretty excited. We've walked past these all the time. People have been requesting us to do this a lot. So let's get some food and start chowing down.
So like I said, we got a little bit of everything from each food truck here, and starting with the Four Rivers Cantina Barbacoa food truck, I got the street tacos. This comes with 3 tacos. You can have a choice of filling. It also comes with creme fraiche, pico de gallo, salsa verde, queso fresco, and cilantro, served in flour tortillas with lime and jalapeno on top. Now the filling choices that you can get inside of them, you can get pork, chicken tinga, roasted sweet potato, brisket barbacoa, or tri-tip steak. Now, because there are 3 tacos, I asked, and you can get 3 different tacos. So that's what I chose to do. I got the adobo pork, chicken tinga, and the tri-tip steak. These tacos were awesome. It was actually the first thing I tried out of all of the food we got here today, and the chicken tinga taco was probably my favorite. At first I didn't get that spiciness that was in the sauce, but once I continued to eat it, I did get a little kick of heat in there, and it was not from the jalapeno because I did pick those off. They were like a whole slice. But the flavor in there was so good, even in all 3 tacos, but definitely the chicken tinga one was my favorite. I loved the texture that was in there from the pico de gallo and the flavor of the cheese, and there wasn't too much cilantro. Sometimes cilantro can be overpowering. There was really just enough on there to give you that flavor. Overall, amazing street tacos here. I also got the BIRRIA quesadilla because I love a good quesadilla, and there's not many places that you can get a quesadilla around Disney. So the quesadilla comes with beef birria, melted Oaxaca cheese on a crispy grilled flour tortilla, and it's served with a rich beef broth for dipping, and then an onion cilantro salsa on the side. I actually didn't even try the cilantro salsa or the beef broth. However, that was such an amazing quesadilla. I loved the melty cheese in there with the flavor of the beef. Oh, and how it was griddled. They definitely used some butter there. You could tell by looking at it, and it was definitely greasy on the fingers, but the flavor in that thing was amazing. Like, probably one of the best quesadillas I've had out anywhere. It was awesome.
So for my selection today, I got the molita. I didn't know what that was until I read the menu, and then it gave me a nice description. It's crispy tortillas stacked with choice of filling, queso fresco, topped with fresh lime cilantro salsa. My filling I got was the tri-tip steak, which was really, really delicious and flavorful. This was a pretty great dish. It was sort of like a stackable taco, a flat taco, which I think was a nice idea. The only thing I would say would be missing would be some sort of sauce, maybe like a liquid salsa or something like that, just to give it a little bit of a kick in addition to a little bit of, I guess, juiciness, just because it was overall, I don't want to say dry, but not the most juicy. But I thought the flavors were really great, and I really enjoyed the onion cilantro salsa. and the steak as well.
So we're moving on to the other two food trucks that we've got here at Disney Springs. These are actual like Disney operated ones, so to speak, from Hot Diggity Dog. I was going to go with something very basic today, and I even had like this mental thought when I was in line. I'm like, man, getting the Texas chili cheese hot dog is I think pretty safe. And then I wasn't okay with that. And then I read the description for the BLT, which is an all beef hot dog with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and what really set me off on this one to get it was the garlic ranch dressing. And I really don't normally like ranch dressing, but when you start mixing it up a little bit with some other flavors like the garlic, I was intrigued. So I got that. All of the hot dogs here at Hot Diggity Dog are served with chips. So it comes with chips, $11.75. Not that bad. It's a pretty decent portion size, I think, too. And what I think really makes these hot dogs so great on Disney property, well, not Disney property, sorry, here at Disney Springs, because the only places that I've really enjoyed hot dogs is here, and the, what was it, BB Wolf sausage, because they have sausage and hot dogs over there, is that here, they take that bread and they like, toast it, but it's not like a regular hot dog bun. It's almost like this, almost like a brioche, long cut. They butter it, they toast it. And then with these two, what they did with the hot dog is they actually slice the hot dog down the middle in half, and then they kind of put all of those toppings inside of that. And then you wrap that up. It's a super messy bite. And so I used, after the first bite, because you know you have to do it for the video, after that I used a knife and a fork just because I wanted to make sure that I was still getting all the flavors and I wasn't dropping anything all over the table. But this was fantastic. Good hot dog, good flavors. Really liked that taste of kind of the BLT with that ranch. It was spot on. You get a nice crunchiness. You get some savoriness in there. So really, really good. The other thing that we got from over here is from the mac and cheese cart food truck. So one thing that I really wanted to try were mac and cheese fritters. If you guys have been watching us for a while, I have this problem of raving about sheets, mac and cheese bites. If you don't know what that is, I'm sorry that your life is so deprived of mac and cheese bites from sheets, but they're fantastic. It's a very high level that I have set. And these mac and cheese fritters, they were okay. I think what they were missing here were nice creaminess, so a little bit more cheesy or with some type of other cheese sauce. And then the breading for these was good. It was nice, crunchy, and tender on the inside, but for my particular palate and the way that I like mac and cheese bites, I don't really like the kind of almost dry breadcrumb, which is what these ones were. I like more of almost like think of it more of like a beer batter. That's not what these were, and that's what I prefer. So they were okay, but for me, not the greatest.
The first thing that I tried or wanted to try was from the Hot Diggity Dogs truck. I'm not a huge hot dog person, but there's a lot of variety, a lot of things to choose from, and I thought, hey, I'll take one for the team. We got the Santa Fe hot dog. It has chipotle mayo on it. It's got cotija cheese, cilantro, chili powder, and street corn. So I'm assuming that means grilled corn like you'd get at a fair or festival as opposed to corn they just found in the street. But regardless, the flavors were phenomenal. It actually was really good. Like I said, I'm not a huge hot dog person, but if you're gonna dress it up like this, I'm completely on board. Really enjoyed it. And I do think the game changer here was, like Josh mentioned, that brioche bun that is toasted, buttered and toasted. Like, it was just perfection to have it served on that. It really brought everything together and gave me those carbs I needed. But it was a really good hot dog. Again, I don't eat them that often, so take that for what you will. But this one I very much enjoyed, so it was really good because, you know, I needed to try everything. We also got a mac and cheese from the next door food truck. Did we have a name for that? A mac and cheese truck? Whatever. It's not a cart, it's a truck. But from there, I wanted the lobster and shrimp mac and cheese. I feel like that's a pretty good gauge if you're gonna have a gourmet mac and cheese. Lobster's a good one to kind of try and see what they do with it. It was surprisingly really good as well, especially coming out of a food truck. It felt very high-end to me, kind of like something you might find at a signature restaurant here on Disney property. Really good. There was a lot of shrimp. They were good-sized shrimp. The lobster was good. There could have been more, but I feel like that's a typical issue with lobster mac and cheeses. You just don't get quite as much lobster as you want. But again, for the value or the price, also it's not going to be an entire lobster in there. So there's that. But the breadcrumbs, the toastedness, the provolone cheese. It's also served with buttery, like Ritz or Townhouse kind of Captain's crackers. Those were really good as well. And it just blended really well together with the pasta. So I think both of them were a complete win in my book. Like both of these a lot.
So like Josh said, we did get the 6 cheese crunchy macaroni and cheese. I was actually a little underwhelmed by this mac and cheese. It was a nice creamy mac and cheese, and it was nice when it came out and it was nice and hot, but it is a super windy day out today, so it did cool down quite quickly, so we had to try and eat it while it was hot. The reason why I was a little bit underwhelmed is because of the crunchiness, and because it says it was a 6 cheese. To me, it just felt like it was kind of more of a basic mac and cheese, and I feel like I didn't really get the like creaminess I thought there would have been with a 6 cheese. Now, the crunchiness to me was more of just like Cheetos on top. It does say cheese puffs. So I also think the portion was humongous, which we did talk about this a little bit. This is more of an entree because the food truck does just serve mac and cheese. So this is something, if you want it more of a side, if there are a bunch of you in your party, maybe just get 1 mac and cheese to share between all of you, and then instead of getting, 1 per person, because it was humongous. It was overall an okay mac and cheese, but I wish it would have been a little bit better. However, the mac and cheese fritters that Josh said that he didn't really like, they're basically a mac and cheese wedge. I actually really did enjoy those. I do think they could have been a little creamier on the inside, but I actually loved that breading that was on the outside. I love the flavor of it. It was seasoned really well, and Josh said they looked like they were too well done, but I actually think they were cooked perfectly. That it was a little darker in the crust, but it wasn't burnt or anything. That's just kind of how that comes out. But overall, I think my favorite thing was my chicken tinga taco.
All right, guys, so that is going to do it for us here at the food trucks.
Yeah.
It was really good. I really did enjoy it.
Yes, I think overall it was a really good experience. I do really like the Four Rivers food truck. I think you could get anything there and you would be pleased with it. And Josh said he really enjoyed his hot dog as well.
But yeah, I really enjoyed my hot dog. I thought it was really great. I would definitely come back and get another hot dog from here again at some point. The BLT it really kind of surprised. I mean, I don't know. Did it surprise me? Maybe not. I was expecting it to be good. The garlic ranch was a nice little highlight.
Which is really surprising because Josh doesn't really like ranch, so.
I don't at all.
We definitely could have done without the mac and cheese and probably the mac and cheese bites, but we really just wanted to try more things and see what all these food trucks had to offer. Plus, I had been eyeing up that mac and cheese for a while, so yeah. I just love mac and cheese. But if you are bringing kids here and you want to try out the food trucks, these are kind of a little more unique than what some children might like to eat, or even some picky adults, because I know some people are like that. But mac and cheese is definitely a great, safe option. That 6 cheese, crunchy mac and cheese would definitely be the one to go with if you're kind of a pickier eater. And
it's great for splitting. I mean, like we said, there's such big portions, you could easily split that between a couple of kids.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
So it's definitely a good way to go, especially when you're here at Disney Springs. Yeah. It's quick, you can eat, get back to shopping or doing whatever you're doing. Maybe you're going to go down to, eventually when it reopens, the NBA experience and different things like that. So it was good. I liked it.
So let us know if you have ever tried the food trucks here at Disney Springs.